I'm all for evaluating things and looking at things. And when you look at our budget, it makes sense that you would start with the most expensive component of it. I don't have any issue with that. With that said, this resolution and this motion is a little bit vague, and it's a little bit counter to what was discussed at the work session, which, again, to be clear, our solicitor advised that this should be done by an independent third party, which is a common practice in all areas of businesses and organizations and everything else like that. It takes off any perception of bias by those who are doing the study. It's done by qualified professionals trained in that area. With that said, I don't think it's worth spending a penny on personally, in my opinion. But, you know, secondary to that, I just feel like this opens the door to a lot of bad possibilities. I understand the spectrum. Over here, you say the state police are going to cover Freeland like Hazel Township does, 100% of the time. Over here, we keep the police department, and in the middle, there's what? Butler Township doesn't cover other municipalities for policing. Whitehaven is trying to manage in Foster Township. From what I can tell, it's not going very well. I wouldn't want to put that on Whitehaven's plate. I've been interested in regional police, and this is where I maybe differ from some folks in the public, but it doesn't seem like our neighbors want to go down that path. So really, you know, we could go through all this expense and time and effort of this study, and we really only have two options, one of which state police. I'll probably put my house on the market the next day, if that's what the conclusion is, because I don't want to live in a town that doesn't have some kind of a dedicated police force. And the state police are not going to come here for people running stop signs, people doing U-turns on Center Street, people speeding, kids on unlicensed scooters, noise violations. Basically, if nobody's bleeding, we're not going to get the state police here in town. And even then, how long is it going to take them to get here? So, like I said, I respect looking into things, but I've already reached my conclusion. You know, is policing challenging to maintain? Is it expensive to maintain? Would people, yes, would people be willing to pay more money if it's a financial concern? I don't think the people have even gotten an explanation as to why we're looking into doing this, potentially. And I think they deserve that much. So, well, I appreciate everyone hearing me out.
I would just... Thank you very much. I would just like to counter with one thing. You said that it doesn't explain why we're here. Well, we're here because we are looking to review and evaluate with complete and accurate information the financial, administrative, operational, staffing, regulatory, and liability obligations associated. And for someone to say that they don't care about those things, I find confusing. You talk about fiscal responsibility in these other departments, and you worry about where staplers go and how many paper clips we purchase. Yet when it comes to
respectfully, sir, I've never said either of those two words to you.
Let's maintain some order here. Everyone will have a chance to speak. Let's make sure everyone gets their conclusion. Understand the motions will run on.
I'm not saying you're saying those words, but you are very concerned about lower budget departments like the Recreation Board, which we just had a discussion. You're concerned over $650 that got spent on a concert. Yet all we're saying with this resolution is that we should look into all of these things that are going on, and you say, I don't think we should. And that confuses me.
Well, sure. For one thing, why do we have to do this between now and October? Policing has a...
Because October is when budget happens.
Right, so that means that, just so everybody on a public safety committee is clear, the plan is to have an answer by October. Mr. Myers, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but we're clear now that that's the timeline, is to say potentially on January 1st of next year, there could be no police department. And I have a list here of 271, what's that?
Nobody said that.
Mr. Ritchie, please.
What I said is
Making all types of insinuations. This is merely a study.
Yeah, which says that we should have information to have this discussion in October.
Because of the budget.
Yes.
Because we need to decide whether we're going to include police in the budget or not.
We did talk about expanding police.
What does that mean?
to look to maybe participate and do coverage for other municipalities.
So you want to take $120,000 to cover 45 square miles in Boston Township
That's,
when we barely have the
the
staffing?
whole
to
point of
handle-
the study is to talk
Point
about
6
all these things,
Well, that's my question.
all right?
What
I
is
mean,
the study? Is it what was circulated within council?
The resolution.
The Excel spreadsheet?
Lays out.
So we're just saying we're gonna have some kind of a study right now. It's gonna be done by council and any employees as opposed to be done by an attorney's office or a professional. And what exactly are we studying?
Did you read the resolution?
I read the resolution and it
Okay.
doesn't tell me that we're looking at 10 years of crime statistics or that we're looking at the patrol coverage statistics.
that's
from
all the
9/11.
things we're gonna look into. as
Why
part
isn't it
of-
on the paper?
It says on the paper, police services opinion and analysis transition plan evaluating the feasibility, costs, benefits, risks, service levels, and implementation requirements for each option identified in this resolution. So it says that we are going to compile all of that information for each one of these. Exactly how we're gonna do that, I'm honestly not sure. And here's what I would also like to say. If we got to July or August and weren't able to complete these things in the timeline that I laid out, this is not set in stone. It's a simple resolution saying we should look into this and we should take our time. What I want to say is if I wanted to put a motion forward to disband the police department, I would have done that. If I wanted to do this or push any of this stuff outside of a meeting and not tell the public about it, then I wouldn't have made a resolution. I would have just asked people to go and do this stuff behind the scenes. But I thought it was best to alert the public of where we stand and give options and say that we're going to look into this and evaluate it. And I don't understand how evaluating and options on something is being misconstrued. I can understand how the public is nervous about it. I get that. But by somebody who's sitting at this table, I don't understand.
So
We've had these discussions before. We've had our committee meetings. We've had frank discussions. So it confuses me that
So this Excel spreadsheet right here.
Yeah.
I can print this out, crumble it up, and throw it in the garbage can because this is not what's
I
being
have no
studied.
idea what spreadsheet you're talking
Well,
about.
you created it.
Yeah, That is-
That's not the study, right?
that is not the study. No.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
I mean, this would also, show any deficiencies as well.
Correct.
So it's not just like, oh, one or the other. It's showing, hey, we find, let's just make a hypothetical. Hey, everything's fine, but hey, we're using 10-year-old guns. So wouldn't that be something?
It'd absolutely be something uncovered.
Or last time I was on council, we were using Windows 8. I don't know what they're using now.
Right,
One of they're using Windows 10.
one of
It's not
those
supported.
things in here is to assess all of the equipment that they have, to go through and make sure that their systems are all up to date. That is one of the items here. All of their equipment, hardware, software, everything.
And the station itself. When was
Correct.
The last time the station was assigned, when we did it, when was it up for? Has there ever been in any council? We got
I had
3 councils here.
It certainly wasn't done under ours. We had a conversation about the back room there. I just had one the Friday of last week with the chief, about that kind of empty back room there with the storage area, about turning that into something. But,
I mean,
you know,
so nothing's been done since, what year was that, 2018?
you know, the building.
There have been computers purchased, there's been an armory equipment.
Yeah, but the computer's purchased was Prime Watch, wasn't that the last time? Wasn't that when Chief Kevin was here?
There was new
Were there
computers.
newer ones since then?
Within the last 2 years.
The computers, were those the ones from when Prime Watch did them, or have they been updated since?
There hasn't been an update to our equipment since I've been here.
So we're looking at antiquated, okay, so
There-
we're looking
there
at
have-
antiquated.
They're Windows 10, I agree, right?
Yeah, we're still on the 10, and there have been certain points brought up in the past about equipment and whatnot.
How old is your gun?
sorry?
How old is your gun?
This is my personal weapon. I
How-
carry a personal
your-
weapon, but the weapons that we have back there are at least 5 years old.
5 years?
Yes, sir.
Right.
That's the handguns, the rifles are here long.
And that was a discussion we just had on Friday as well about the long guns and
It was.
the need to maybe
And-
retire them.
Do we have a policy in place for ammunition? Is it renewed every year, or?
Ammunition is purchased every year. We recycle, we use what we have in stock as our qualifications so that we're not using old ammunition. That is something that is recycled on a regular basis. And policies are in the process of being updated and changed. Yeah.
Thank you. So essentially what I just did is part of what we be voting on. A bigger
Correct.
study.
Correct.
Okay,
That's
thank
what
you.
we're looking for. Got it. Any other discussion? So we'll move back to the motion. There's a motion to adopt the FPD comprehensive evaluation resolution. Is anyone so moved?
I will make that motion.
We have a second?
Second.
We'll do a roll call.
Richard Stefano.
Yes.
Frank Kissling.
Yes.
Tom Myers.
Yes.
Matt Crone.
No.
Chris Black.
Yes.
John Walters.
Yes.
Tom Quinn.
Motion carries. Next up is a motion to approve the EMS tax disbursement request for FNCAA for May 2026.
I'd like to make a motion to open discussion on the motion to approve the EMS tax distribution request for May.
We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
I have to abstain. Roll call.
Yeah, we have to do a roll call.
Okay, Richard Stefano.
Yes.
Frank Kissling.
Abstain.
Tom Myers.
No.
Matt Crone.
Yes.
Chris Black.
No.
John Walters. All right, we got 2 yeses, 1 abstain, and 3 noes.
Motion doesn't carry. So then we're left with the motion itself.
I'll make two of them.
We have a second?
Second.
We'll do a roll call vote for this as well. Normally do so. So you got that sheet, though.
Richard Stefano.
Yes.
Frank Kissling.
Abstain.
Tom Myers.
Yes.
Matt Crone.
No.
Chris Black.
Yeah.
John Walters.
Yeah.
4 yeses. And no, 1 abstain.
Motion carries. On to Public Works. First, we have the motion to adopt the traffic calming policy development resolution.
Inquiry. This is the one with the speed bump signs and all that, right?
Yeah, so what we're doing here is, motion for discussion or not?
No.
Yeah, so the motion's on the floor. Anyone so moved?
Motion.
Got a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next up is a motion to advertise the, I shouldn't say advertise, that should say adopt. Motion to,
No,
oh yeah, no, that's right, motion to advertise the Main Street, no South Side parking ordinance between Fern and Ridge.
Motion.
Got a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Next up, last one under Public Works is a motion to adopt the Freeland Public Park Pavilion Historic Places Registration Resolution.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Under Recreation, you've got a motion to appoint James Lucas to a 2-year term on the Rec Board to expire June 30th, 2026.
Motion.
You got a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Next up is a motion to approve the Bethel Baptist Church request to close Ridge Street from Front Street to Walnut Street from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. for their annual Rock and Rock celebration on August 8th, 2026.
Can I ask a question, please? Was there any rain date as part of the,
No.
so it's happening or not happening?
I would imagine they have a new secretary.
Thank you.
No, the name. Got a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, last on the agenda is to discuss the American Legion Riders' request to close Center Street from South Street to Main Street and on June 27, 2026 from 9 to 12 p.m. for the Woodland Run. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. I do just want to call out, I'm gonna say, I don't know if that's actually going to cut it. That just says a motion to discuss. How about a motion to approve their request, the American Legion request, to close Center Street from South Street?
Motion.
Got a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Just wanted to make sure. Everyone else got it.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Acting Mayor, before we open it to public comment, I would respectfully request we do a motion for an executive session, and also I would request the presence of Mr. Student in that executive session briefly.
Motion for an executive?
Motion. You got a question on the floor?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, pursuant to earlier, I'd like to put forward a motion to accept the resignation of Code Enforcement Officer Jonathan Veed.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries.
And then last thing I promise is, pursuant to our discussions about code enforcement, since we didn't act on the ad for full-time, I'd like to put forward a motion to hire Paul Malloy as part-time code enforcement officer, 10 hours maximum per month at a salary not to exceed $25 per hour,